What if the secret to a happier life was not to do more, but to do less? What if the real power we are all searching for is not found in constant struggle, not in endless effort, but in letting go and allowing life to unfold? It sounds impossible in our world, doesn't it? We are told every day, work harder, push further, chase more. The busier you are, the more successful you must be. The louder you shout, the stronger you appear. But 2,500 years ago, a quiet sage in ancient China offered a very different path. His name was Lao Tzu, and his teaching, called Wu Wei, often translated as the art of doing nothing, is not about laziness, but about aligning ourselves with the natural flow of life. It is about learning the wisdom of water, the strength of simplicity, the beauty of effortlessness. In this video, we will uncover 3 timeless lessons from Lao Tzu that reveal why sometimes the greatest action you can take is no action at all. But who was Lao Tzu? This mysterious sage whose words still echo across the centuries. Unlike many great figures of history, Lao Tzu remains a legend wrapped in silence. Some say he was born in the 6th century BC, in the land of ancient China. Others believe he was never a single man at all, but a voice of wisdom collected over generations. What we do know is this: he is credited as the author of the Tao Te Ching, a book of barely 5,000 words, yet one of the most influential texts ever written. While kings sought to conquer nations and generals fought for glory, Lao Tzu taught something different: that true strength is gentle, that true power is hidden in humility, that the greatest harmony comes not from control, but from surrender. Legend says, weary of the corruption of his time, he rode away on a water buffalo, disappearing into the mountains, leaving behind only his wisdom. And from that wisdom came the idea of Wu Wei, a way of living that flows with the rhythm of nature instead of against it, a way of being that still challenges the noise and ambition of our world today. Now, let's leave ancient China for a moment and look at the world we live in today. Everywhere we turn, the message is the same: do more, move faster, work harder. We glorify the hustle. We celebrate the grind. We wear exhaustion like a badge of honor. But beneath the surface, something is breaking. Anxiety has become the background noise of modern life. Burnout is no longer rare. It is expected. We fill our calendars with endless tasks, but somehow we feel more empty than ever. We try to control everything: our careers, our relationships, our future. We fight against time, against nature, against ourselves. And the harder we push, the more life slips out of our hands. It's like trying to hold water in a clenched fist. The tighter we squeeze, the less we keep. Deep inside, we sense it. This constant striving is not making us free. It is making us prisoners. And that is why Lao Tzu's wisdom is so urgent today, because he reminds us of a forgotten truth: that peace and strength are not found in force, but in flow. That the art of doing nothing may, in fact, be the greatest art of living. The first lesson of Wu Wei is this: flow with nature, not against it. To understand it, imagine a river. The river never fights to move forward. It doesn't force its way through the rocks. It flows patiently, steadily, effortlessly, and yet, over time, the soft water shapes the hardest stone. What seems weak becomes unshakable. What looks gentle becomes unstoppable. This is the paradox Lao Tzu invites us to see. That harmony with nature is not weakness. It is the deepest form of strength. But look at how we live today. We wake up with alarms, rushing against the clock. We push our bodies with caffeine and deadlines. We fight traffic. We fight stress. We fight ourselves. We are always swimming upstream, struggling against the current of life. And the result? Exhaustion, frustration, disconnection. Lao Tzu whispers another way. Instead of forcing life to obey us, what if we learned to listen? Instead of fighting the current, what if we allowed it to guide us? In work, this could mean moving with the natural rhythm of your energy, choosing the right moment instead of forcing the wrong one. In relationships, it could mean accepting people as they are, instead of trying to bend them into who we want them to be. To flow with nature is not to give up control. It is to align with a greater wisdom that has always been here, quietly waiting for us to notice. Lao Tzu reminds us, the strongest way forward is often the softest. And the art of living begins when we stop fighting life and start flowing with it. The second lesson of Wu Wei is simple, but so difficult for us to practice. Let go of excess control. We live in a culture that worships control. Control your time, control your career, control your body, control your future. We cling to the idea that if we can just manage everything perfectly, then life will finally bend to our will. But Lao Tzu shows us a different truth. The tighter we grip, the more life slips away. Think of sand in your hand. If you hold it gently, most of it stays. But if you squeeze it hard, it falls through your fingers. This is how we treat our lives. We chase certainty. We cling to plans. We micromanage every detail. And in the process, we suffocate the very freedom we desire. Lao Tzu invites us to loosen our grip, not to abandon responsibility, but to release the illusion that we can control everything. Because the truth is, storms will come, plans will fail, people will change, and life will never obey our every command. But when we stop trying to dominate, we discover something surprising. Life often works better without our interference. Just as a garden grows when we allow the seasons to do their work, our lives flourish when we trust the natural unfolding of events. To let go of excess control is not weakness. It is freedom. It is the wisdom of saying, I will do what I can, and trust the rest to the flow of life. And in that surrender, we find a strength deeper than control could ever give us. The third lesson of Wu Wei is this: embrace simplicity. In a world overflowing with noise, with endless choices, with more information than we can ever process, simplicity feels almost impossible. We believe happiness lies in more success, more money, more things, more experiences. And yet, the more we add, the heavier our lives become. Our homes overflow with objects we rarely use. Our minds overflow with thoughts that never rest. Our hearts overflow with desires that never end. No wonder peace feels so far away. Lao Tzu whispers a forgotten truth. When you realize you have enough, you are truly rich. Simplicity is not emptiness. It is clarity. It is freedom. It is the gentle art of stripping away what doesn't matter so that what truly matters can finally be seen. Think of a cup. It is useful not because of its shape, but because of the empty space inside. So it is with life. It is not the clutter we accumulate that gives it meaning, but the space we make for love, for stillness, for joy. To embrace simplicity is to live lighter, to breathe easier, to see beauty in the ordinary. It could mean choosing time over money, silence over noise, depth over distraction. And when we do, life begins to open again. Not as a race to be won, but as a journey to be savored. Simplicity is the doorway to peace. And through it, we discover that doing less can actually give us more. So what does Wu Wei really mean for us today? It does not mean laziness. It does not mean indifference. It means living in harmony with life itself. It means moving with the current instead of against it, letting go of the illusion of control, and embracing the beauty of simplicity. Lao Tzu reminds us that the greatest strength is not found in force, but in flow. That the deepest wisdom is not in striving harder, but in surrendering to what already is. In a world that glorifies endless doing, Wu Wei is the courage to pause, to breathe, to listen, to trust that sometimes life knows the way better than we do. So the next time you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders, remember the river, soft, patient, effortless, yet unstoppable. The next time you catch yourself clinging too tightly, remember the sand, held gently, it stays. Grip too hard, it falls away. And when you feel overwhelmed by the noise of more, remember the empty cup. It is its space, not its clutter, that makes it truly useful. This is the wisdom of Lao Tzu, the art of doing nothing, which is not really nothing at all, but the secret to living fully, peacefully, and free. So perhaps the question is not, how much more can I do? But instead, how much can I let go? And in that letting go, you may finally discover the gentle power of Wu Wei,